Three, two, one.
Happy Friday. Hallelujah. TGIF. It is November 6th. Welcome to the Talent Market Update. I am Davina Clarity, and we are, and when I say we, I guess we'll go ahead and bring on the man with the master plan that has the big hand that is in the, okay, I'll stop. Jurgen Robinson.
A big hand, huh? I thought you were actually going to say the big hand and in demand.
I know, right? I was like, okay, I'm losing. I'll freestyle one of these days. Okay. That you can beatbox style. But this is the market update where we give you a little tidbit of what's going on in our market, in general in our region, and then of course in our local areas. And it's just a pleasure to be here this morning.
Really enjoy sharing. And then we've actually got a bit to cover today. There's actually some good stuff going on. I mean, we all know that there's kind of some waiting about other things that are occurring around us. So being able to sprinkle in a little bit of good news is we have our pleasure of doing so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a really weird way to say that.
Got the fairy dust. Is that what it is? We've got, speaking of good news, we've got a birthday in our office, don't we?
Absolutely. I want to say happy birthday too, if this is going to work. Hey, Nikki Snakewood's out of the office.
Yes. Little Nikki, happy birthday to you. Enjoy. And also next week, we are celebrating Veterans Day. So
yeah,
it is another holiday that's coming up for us. And thank you.
Yeah, with your husband, Jerry, certainly you wouldn't be, I was going to say you wouldn't be with us today, but I mean, you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be here in Washington if not for that awesome gentleman bringing you along with him. And for me, family, have a lot with the military, friends, etc. And I think that was my wife Donna saying hi. So
hi, Donna. Yeah, we all have.
She was just laughing at me.
Oh, she was laughing. We all have a lot to be thankful for, and thank you for our service members. So absolutely, this week we'll be should be celebrating you every day, but Veterans Day is coming up next week.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, in ways, it's really what it should be. We shouldn't have to think about it. They should be able to, go about, do their duty, and just be able to protect us so we can live our lives, not having to think about them every day. But, that's why it's great to take a day or a moment to actually recognize them and their service and their sacrifice.
Yep, absolutely. And our holiday season is like, I can't believe we're already we've been in the holiday season for a while. I know a few episodes ago I was saying, you know what, let's just skip everything and go straight to Christmas. Because I'm like, really, there's only two seasons. Christmas, for me, Christmas and summer. That's it. I'm like, drop my, that's it. But again,
I'm relatively sure we started the Christmas season, at least for retail, I think actually started around June, honestly. I mean, with people needed something to divert their mind a little bit. So we've all been prepping longer than we typically would.
I've got my Christmas cup. Yeah, we're here. Got to get the fireplace going.
Oh, very nice.
Toasting those marshmallows. So.
Well, you know what? We always start, in addition to having some news and some updates going on, we always start with what's happening in the local area with some new listings, some open houses coming up this weekend. So to get a start on that, our very first listing See, we had a hesitation. I was just like, what's going on? Okay, the very first listing, we have a new listing and open house this weekend. This is at 9540 Summerfield Loop Southeast in Olympia. It is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,742 square foot on an 8,489 square foot lot. This is over in Hawks Prairie, and it has a list price of $355,000. Fantastically priced, good size home. And you can meet Sandra Hanby out of the Lacey office. She will be holding it open this Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's a great price point. And next, we have a brand new listing. Wow, look, the price on this one, crazy. So it's a 2818 60th Lane Southeast Unit D David in Olympia. It's in the Vineyard condo community. It's a little private, peaceful condo. It's got some natural views. It's 1,088 square feet. And it's 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It's been updated with new laminate. It's got a 1-car garage. And this one is listed at $212,000. Wow, $212,000 for a condo. Again, it's listed by Jennifer Maldonado out of our DuPont office.
Fantastic. Well, guess what? The birthday girl, she has a new listing this weekend. It's at 4422 Goldcrest Drive, Northwest in Olympia. It is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,448 square foot home on a 5,237 square foot lot. It has a list price of $450,000. This is over in the west side of Olympia. You can see the pictures. This is really fantastic. I would anticipate this is not going to last very long.
Right. Now, and here's another one, very affordably priced. It's listed by Liz Anderson out of our Olympia office. It's a manufactured home in Centralia, located at 3516 Harrison Avenue Southwest. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.75 bath, 1,248 square foot home. It's got a large kitchen. It's got a couple of outbuildings, extra storage, a deck, master bed with a bath. I mean, listed at $39,000. So check it out again, listed by Liz out of our Olympia office in Centralia.
Yeah. And from just a moment ago, I forgot to say the birthday girl is Nikki Stankwitz out of the Olympia office. I just labeled her as birthday girl. And we also have from Asa Walker from the DuPont office. He has a brand new listing at 23411 102nd Avenue Southeast. This is Unit E as in Edward 201 over in Kent. This has a list price of $216,950. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,059 square foot. It's got the lot size at 1059. This is a condo, nice, taken care of living. You should truly check it out. See the pictures. Talk to the man.
And then we have another listing Liz has on the market out of our Olympia office. It's 2910 Jackson Highway, also in Chehalis. It's a 1.5-story, 3-bedroom, 1.7 bath, 1,484 square feet on just about 2.5 acres. And it's got actually a 30 storage unit income plus an independent ADU. So there is a lot on this property, endless possibilities. It is listed at $399. Get in contact with Liz Anderson out of our Olympia office for more information on this amazing property.
And very last, but definitely not least, if you're looking for new construction in the Olympia area, it is very hard to find, but you will find it in Olympia's finest community of Mill Pond. It's at the 2400 block of Lily Road. The new construction is going on right now. Homes are underway. We are in the 2nd phase. We're going to be moving into the 3rd phase with a phenomenal community center that's going to be the centerpiece of the whole community. The sales team, you can meet the friendly folks out there from Wednesday or Friday through Wednesday every week from 12 to 5 o'clock. If you haven't been out there, highly, highly recommend you do. And there we go.
Awesome sauce. They're definitely every week there are things that are going on, and this is just a little piece of what's going on in our whole market. This is just our office. So we've got a ton more listings that we have access to. So if you are looking and none of these fit your criteria, let us know and we can send you some more possibilities that are within the area that you're interested in.
Yeah, and what we're going to talk about next is a report that we actually send out at the beginning of each month. If anybody is interested, if you are interested, contact us, let us know, private messages, public messages, however you want, but we can get this information in your hand. It's great to give some context to it though. And also, as you look over these numbers, especially if you are in the market looking to buy or possibly even sell to buy, definitely it's time to talk to if you haven't already, a professional like us, because the strategies in there to help you be successful are really, really matter right now. So you want to take a look at the at what's going on?
Let's do that.
I was waiting with bated breath. Will she say yes? I don't know.
Will she say yes?
So what we're showing here, actually, I'm going to shrink this up just a little bit so I can bring this forward. There we are. Good, 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 good. All right. So on here, we've got the Thurston, and then the Pearson. We're going up from Thurston into Pierce up to Southwest King and into King. We're just trying to give you a nice broad view of what's going on in the market, starting the most local. You can see from here that in the highlights up above, this is from Lennox, CEO and chairman of John L. Scott. He's always got his nose in the market and really understands what's going on. We're nearly virtually sold out of homes priced up to $750,000 locally here in Thurston County. This price range comprises 96% of sales activity locally. So 96% of what's going on is in this kind of extreme frenzy going on. How is that demonstrated? Just put a couple of little highlights on here. Within like this month supply of inventory, that means every home that's currently on the market, based on the averages or the month prior, what's sold, how long will it take to sell every single home that's currently on the market? Well, if we look over here, between $250,000 to $350,000, that's 0.2 months. That's less than a week to sell every single home that's currently on the market in that range. But you'll see that extends, like price range above it is just 0.5. Price range below 0.3. I mean, it's incredible. We haven't, even during the peak of the summer, we weren't seeing these numbers. So you bring it down to the total activity, it's 463 homes that came on the market, 481 went under contract. So what we saw in October was just an incredibly busy, frenzied time, 0.4 overall. And you can see of all the homes that came on, 78.8%, an incredibly high number, went under contract in the first 30 days. That's an extreme frenzy.
It doesn't get any more frenzied than that.
No.
No.
And then Davini, Pierce County, are you able to see that one pretty well?
Well, I got my glasses on, so here we go. And we're seeing a very similar scenario in Pierce County as well, and the most affordable price ranges. And if you look at the 250 to 350 range, it's the extreme shortage 0.3, and then even the 350 to 500, it's 0.4. Now, obviously, the 0 to 250, there's not, in those affordable price ranges, we are seeing the extreme shortages. So. And then that goes also the same thing when you look at total activity in Pierce County as a whole. You had 1460 that came on the market in October, 1469. So more that came on went off market in October. And again, that 0.5 extreme shortage, extreme frenzy, 82.2% went pending in the first 30 days. So and then another thing just to mention as well is when you look at the unbelievable interest rates, when you look at the averages, we're at 3%. We're actually still under that 3% mark in most cases. So that coupled along with the low interest rates is really driving our real estate market right now.
Absolutely. And then as we kind of work our way north from there, you've got Southwest King County, so kind of the Federal Way, Auburn, Renton, Kent, kind of in that area through there. Again, the story continues. You can see up here, this price range, which comprises 95%, is that up to 750 is really in that extreme, it's in that frenzy area. So over here, you can see It's just a touch softer than Pierce and Thurston. So as we're getting into what is kind of the epicenter for the area, the Seattle area, we see maybe a touch of a cooling. But gosh, you put this and contrast it into any normal market, it's incredibly fast. So you can see down here, it's still though, total overall 422 new came on the market, 433 went pending. So we've got 0.7 months of inventory. Anything under a month of inventory is really in that that extreme. It's in that frenzy market, right? And then last part here is 70.7% are still going under contract in the first 30 days. And then you've got Seattle.
Right. And Seattle's a little bit of a different picture. We're seeing a little bit more of a softening. Again, you know, is it still a seller's market? Yeah. We still are seeing a shortage. We aren't seeing the extreme shortages in some of the areas. But what is interesting is when you look at the price points, the shortages are in the higher price mark. So the 5 to 1 million price points are where we're seeing this shortage to severe shortages of inventory. What's a little bit different is that total activity. So as we're looking at the October resale listings, 1,500 came on the market. What went pending? 1,163 went pending. So less than what came on went off. And then our overall month supply of 1.6, which is still a shortage. Again, it is a little bit softer than what we're seeing in the Southwest and South, of King County. And then we're looking at 56.5% of the listings that came on the market went off. And so I think we're leaning towards moving towards a more strong to healthy market eventually into the surge if we keep going in this trend and moving more towards even getting into a balanced market in King County. And that may have to do with with COVID, people are kind of exiting out of the main city areas into more of the suburbia. So we'll see what happens and how the trends continue as we get into later on in the winter months and into the new year.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting though, you'd mentioned it, you touched on it, was the average market. Really, you see the vast majority of home sale activity in Seattle. It does feel different than being here in kind of Thurston and Pierce County. When you look at Seattle very specifically, it feels like the real average starter home starts at like 500K. That's where you have the strongest activity, 500 to 750. But then even as you get into the 750 to 1 million, you're still at 1.1 months of inventory, 365 new listings. And then that million plus, where in Pierce and Thurston County, we really don't see very much activity at all. We're still at 1.8 months of inventory, and look at the numbers right there. So really within that Seattle specific market, it really is different than the markets that stretch out from there a little bit. It's really that epicenter.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that actually takes us. So as we go from there, we end up talking about, kind of some other things. So what is, you touched on it with Seattle and talking about, or actually at the end of Pierce County, talking about, interest rates and some of the other factors that play into there. So we've got a couple of news things we want to keep you informed and not only give you news. We like getting context from other spots, but also putting it back through our filter to help you understand what it means maybe a little more locally. So bringing that back up, first, when we're talking about Seattle, so millennials, they've been a conversation for a long time, right? Where are they going? Where are they going? What are they doing? And actually right now, they represent the highest buyer population that's coming in. They're replacing Gen X. They're really in the strong area. So where are they moving, growing? Now, this is from National Association of Realtors. The number 10 spot in all of the U.S. is Seattle, Washington area. And kind of interesting to see here is share of millennial movers, 70% are in the metro area, and share of millennials to total population, 29%. but income for millennial movers is about 68,900. And this is just looking at the Seattle area alone. What's interesting is we're getting an influx of people moving in Seattle, of millennials moving in Seattle. But of that average, if they're earning about 70K when they move in, that income in the Seattle area, very, very specific. We just saw those numbers in Seattle. That only about 5% of millennials can actually purchase a home in Seattle directly. So what's happening with the remote workers and those outlying areas and the activity we see there, I think that's a part of what's being very influenced by the numbers outside of Seattle too. What do you think, Davina?
I think that definitely can really contribute to what we're seeing as well, because the you look at the share of millennial movers at 70%. That's really high number of people that are moving in, and again, 5% is a very, very low number, especially in the Seattle area. For the, they're looking for areas where there's the tech companies, Amazon, Boeing, Microsoft, and they're having to commute. Telecommute now is a lot of what's happening, so they can actually afford more affordable homes in the outlying areas. So, I think that honestly, with the millennial conversation, we're also seeing that with our other populations as well. So,
yeah, really interesting. And then you mentioned about the mortgage rates. Last week, the mortgage rates crept up to 2.81%. Guess what? They fell again to another historic low. Just again, it feels like a limbo, like it can't go any lower. They fell 2 basis points off of the lowest on record to a brand new 50-year low to 2.78%. It marks 15 consecutive weeks of the average mortgage rates across the U.S. being under 3%. Is that incredible? That's
incredible.
Oh, I just felt like I went into an 80s time machine.
Right.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is also very interesting and different from this year. Home sellers stand to gain more equity this winter. This is from Realtor Magazine, an article. All the articles that we reference, Christy on the back end, who does a phenomenal job, is posting those in the comments so you can see it as well. Low housing inventories and high buyer demand is an unseasonable trend in the housing market. Typically, this is where we find ourselves kind of stalling or hesitating a little bit as we prepare to get into the new year. That hesitation does not appear to be occurring. In September, home inventory was 39% lower compared to a year ago. So we had 39% fewer homes on the market on average across the U.S. than we did a year ago. And we see that reflected in the numbers that we went over just a little bit ago. Properties typically stayed on the market for just 21 days in September, which across, again, the nation is an all-time low, down from 32 days just a year ago. So that's a pretty significant, like down nearly a third of the days. Mm-hmm. And then the national median home listing price climbed 11.1% in September compared to a year ago. Now at $350, which is a 3.9% increase on the price per square foot. That's, if we were looking at this in a vacuum in 2019, looking at this, we wouldn't believe it, would we?
Yeah, we'd say, wow. And no, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, here's the thing too, is that remember that this is national, and nationally the median home price is at $350. That number is higher in our area.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is we're very close to the national average of where home prices have increased. So we're seeing that 10 to 13% across the counties that we serve. In some areas, depending on what specific neighborhood, that could be different as well. So, but it's definitely significant.
Yeah, in some years, in a normal, I don't even know if we should say normal anymore. In a previous normal year, there are buyers who could find kind of a deal in the wintertime because there's just lower buyer demand. There's also typically lower inventory, but sometimes they might be able to get a deal or position themselves in a maybe a little more leveraged position because they're looking when a lot of other people aren't. That just isn't the case this year, right?
No, it's not. I mean, in looking at September specifically, it's like, okay, prices climbed in September. Usually we're not seeing that in September, so again, gaining more equity during the winter, looking at the trends that are going in, definitely what we're seeing. And as you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, your market is going to be different from other markets in your neighborhood. So if you want just a free market update, we're happy to send that to you. If you want to actually have a market analysis on your specific home, we're happy to do that as well, just so that you have a better idea. The Zillows and the other estimators most likely are not going to be accurate. So we can definitely provide that for you as well.
Yeah. We can help you sort through the information. Mm-hmm. So one of those questions, if you are thinking about buying or selling your home, you just found out that equity is actually increasing. It's actually a good time to be able to sell your home. So one of those questions that pops up, and this is from KCM blog, so Keeping Current Matters. So again, we have a link into there. Should I renovate my home or my house before I sell it? And really, surprisingly, the answer is probably not. If you didn't already do it while we were in lockdown and other things, and you're thinking about selling your home, now probably is not the time you need to do, other than getting it ready, maybe staged or other things. But even reading from here, in today's hyper-competitive market, buyers are often willing to overlook cosmetic or minor repair needs if it means snagging the home or a home in their price range, because it's been very difficult to do so. If you do want to be able to do some kind of replacement or a renovation on something, these are some of the ones that get the best bang for the buck or return on your investment. Garage door replacement, surprisingly, is the top one. Deck addition, a wood deck addition. Roofing replacement, asphalt shingles. That's very true, because you kind of look at those things and you want to make sure that that roof is going to keep you protected as a home buyer. A bathroom remodel, mid-range, not the works. And then a major kitchen remodel, again, kind of mid-range. Those are things that freshen up and often are neglected as we live in the home over a period of time. Does this say anything to you, Davina?
Yeah, it's conversations that I actually have been having lately with, some of the agents that are asking, about within their clients, and then also some clients that have said, we've been wanting to remodel our kitchen and we've been wanting to do this. And I'm like, yeah, you want to sell it? If you want to live in it, sure, do it for yourself, but don't do it for someone else right now, because it's probably not going to make that much of a difference, if any. So unless there's something broken, then you might want to fix it. But other than that, cosmetic stuff, updates, remodels, we're just not pushing those right now. So, yeah.
What is the sell turnaround time in Thurston County currently? Nick, what we went over here previously is the turnaround time right now, depending on the range you're looking at, can be all of them pretty much in most of the ranges are below a month. Over here on the side, it doesn't show specifically, but if we ran that number, and this is a guess, but we can get that out for you, and we can actually put it back in the comments, an average and a couple price ranges. But for most of it, I'd say probably 13 days, or I'd say probably around 13 for the average in Thurston County. What would you say, Davina?
I'd probably say about the same, a couple weeks. And again, it's going to depend on the price range. So it could be even less in lower price ranges. So it's going to depend, but very short. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that we deal in, when we talk about these things, we deal in averages, but getting down to specifics. And that's the great thing about a consultation, is being able to do that. Hey, Christy, could you drop the banner part off for just a moment? Because there's something that I didn't, when I was showing this over here, I wasn't able to show that. Over here, you can see that garage door replacement is close to 100% on that return on investment. But even when we talked about that major kitchen remodel, I mean, that's under 60%. So you do definitely want to give consideration about what this is going to cost, and is it really going to give it back? In some cases, in many cases, actually, the answer is no, because you have such a hyper-competitive market. If it was changed and it wasn't as competitive as it is right now, the answer might be different. But that's why it's really important to have the conversations, the consultations, so that we can help guide you on that and give you the best advice to position yourself best in the market.
Yep. Amen. That's
All
right.
So you can kind of look through there. And then this is the last one. Oh, we appreciate that, Nick. Yes, just tune in. We will get it for you. And then let's see. This is more of a story we'll link back to. There is conversation. And this is how the house then car is changing Black home ownership. Sometimes we, fake it till you make it becomes a thing people live into. And we want to change that. There's someone in specific here, Donnell Williams from the NAREB, found that millennials with incomes over 100K are actually not purchasing home. And he wanted to help shift their perspective, because when you look at the difference between people who own a home, and we've gone over these numbers before, and actually rent, the net worth of those individuals is vastly different by over $100,000 on average. So what he's helped encourage is an initiative launched last October, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, to help change younger African Americans' view on home ownership, and that's to try to shift that thought process of, should I get the car? Should I be flashy? Should I do the things that attract attention, or do I want to work on the foundation and helping get more education out there of how to build net worth, starting with home ownership as being that platform. Don't have time to cover the whole story here, but it's a really interesting read and would highly encourage that. And that's not just for Black home ownership. I think that's very much for a lot of millennial home ownership, right?
I think it does really equate to a lot of millennial homeowners. But, in the Black communities, it is one of the things that, I know even as growing up, was like the first thing you want. Okay, got a good job. I want to get a nice car. And I don't know if it had necessarily to do to just being flashy, but you want to feel good. It's like, I want to feel good in something. And, the car is easy. The car is, it's one of the easiest purchases. And if you have the money, no one really pays attention to how much the car costs. It's like, okay, I can afford the payment. Right. And so, and again, not understanding the car is the worst. It is not an investment at all. In just turning the mindset to investing first is really important. So I like the house than the car. And I'm actually talking to my daughter. My daughter, she wants this. She wants a car. And I'm like, okay, well, you save your money, you work, and buy it for cash. And she's like, no, but I want what I want. And and the payment's only this. So I'm like, just trying to shift the mindset of investing. And so now she's talking about, I want to get a condo by the time I'm 25. And I'm like, yes. Okay. So, how do you do that, Dual? So now we're having those conversations too. So I think it's really important. And I love that.
Yeah. And Wilburn has, I'd say money management first before homeownership. Can't keep a home if you don't make the payments. But agree, home owning will grow net worth over time. Very, very true. And I think that feeds into the conversation, David, you've been having with your daughter. And thank you for the input on that too. Absolutely true. Understanding how to manage your money. Most people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
It's not something that, it's kind of that conversation. That's not something we're taught in school. We're taught to add, subtract, maybe read a book, I hope. But money management and, our personal finances really isn't talked about, even up to, we don't even use checkbooks anymore, do we?
A what? A what?
Exactly. But no, that's good. Hey, thank you guys so much for interacting on that. That's a lot of fun. Really appreciate that. So that's kind of some of the news. And, we just want to keep giving you things to get your brain active and get you thinking through the processes. We want to be a resource for you. So if you put down in the comments anything that you'd be interested, thank you, Nick. Spot on. Have teenage sons. Absolutely. Donna and I too. It's a conversation. It's a hard nut to crack on that though, to really get those words to sink in. It's like I don't know. It's like they're wearing rain slickers around their head and nothing goes in. It just bounces off.
Like throwing seeds on rocks, right? They're not gonna. They won't get planted anywhere.
We're looking for a crack. Yeah, no. If you guys have any thoughts that you'd like us to, like some of the numbers ahead of time that you'd like us to bring on and give some context to, let us know. We'd be happy to do it. This is what really keeps us going.
Yep, absolutely. So as we get to a wrapping, we've actually gone way over our 9 o'clock hour, but
all over it.
Yeah, next week. So our intention is to do a little bit more of our community spotlight. So that's where we highlight a business and we interview the business owner and just talk a little bit about what their role is in the community and kind of what they do. And so we're going to be doing that. We've done a few of them, and we have one that's coming up next week on Thursday at 8:15. So join us. We're going to be having conversation with a local business owner in DuPont. So also want to say, if you own a business or you know a business that you like to connect us with anywhere in the Puget Sound area or in our region that provides service, we'd be happy to have a conversation and a community spotlight potential with them as well. So drop us a line and let us know.
We learn so much when we talk to other people. We learn, like, because we've got a business with our brokerages, with our franchises, and with what we do. We always learn when we talk to people on how to operate better, connect better, do things better. And we always hope that in that process, they also get a little bit from us, because this is never a take type of conversation. It's it's a mutual give.
Yep. So we'll give a plug to the DuPont J Cafe, which is here in DuPont, and we're gonna have a chat with a fun chat with the owner of the business, and it's all about supporting our local businesses as well. So,
not me.
Yeah,
no.
Not me.
All right. Well, you know what? So much fun to hang out again. Thank you, Davina.
Thank you, Jurgen.
Thank you out in the. Do we call you the internet, the World Wide Web? I don't know.
Our social media friends, we thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And we always end with a big, be bold. Chris, do you want to come on, just say, at least wave your hand and say hi real quick?
Hey, everyone.
You've got one earring is missing. You only
I know. This is the new fashion of 2020. Just working it.
I get it. In the 90s, it was the suspender. Right? It was the overalls and missing one suspender unlatched. So yeah. I get it now.
It's just it's for quick access. If someone walks into the office, you make sure I just pop it back on. But in the meantime, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we say a nice be bold is a declaration out there to do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Take a step forward, grow in some area of your life today.
Yep. We're going to go out with the be bold, you guys. Have a great and safe weekend. Stay warm and dry. And we will see you back here Monday on Talent Talk. We have a guest. We're going to be talking about escrow on Talent Talk Monday. So since you're here, Christy, go ahead and take us home.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's market update. Don't forget, Monday we have our Talent Talk. We're going to be talking about escrow. Thursday we have our community spotlight, and then back again on Friday for next week's market update. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned on our Facebook page for upcoming listings, open houses, events. We have so many classes. We have a bunch of classes just happening this week, today, every day. We're always learning. Can't wait to see you guys there. Have a great weekend. And you guys ready?
We're ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Be bold.
You're good, girl. That was good.
I got my